A 16-year-old girl disappearing without a trace, leaving behind a family desperate for answers. Decades pass, hope dwindles, but then a breakthrough. This is the incredible story of Sheila Fox, who vanished in 1972 and was found alive 52 years later. Welcome to The Missing Returned, where we delve into real-life mysteries of missing persons who reappear after years, even decades. Today we uncover the astonishing case of Sheila Fox, a story that challenges our understanding of disappearance and the enduring hope for resolution. Year-old Sheila Fox vanished from Coventry, England. At the time, she was living with her parents and was last seen in the city centre. Despite extensive searches and inquiries, no substantial leads emerged, and the case gradually faded from public attention. Decades later, the case remained one of the West Midlands Police's longest-running missing person investigations. In December 2024, a breakthrough occurred when officers discovered a grainy black-and-white photograph of Sheila from around the time of her disappearance. Recognizing the potential of modern technology and social media, the police launched a renewed appeal, sharing the image on their website and various platforms. The public's response was immediate and overwhelming. Within hours, individuals came forward with information that led investigators to a woman living in another part of the UK, who was confirmed to be Sheila Fox, now 68 years old, alive and well. The discovery marked the resolution of a case that had remained unsolved for over half a century. In December 2024, the West Midlands Police reignited public interest in the long-standing case of Sheila Fox by releasing a grainy black-and-white photograph of her from around the time of her disappearance in 1972. This renewed appeal, shared on their website and social media platforms, quickly garnered attention. Within hours, members of the public provided information that led investigators to a woman living in another part of the UK, who was confirmed to be Sheila Fox, now 68 years old. Detective Sergeant Jenna Shaw from the Cold Case Investigation Team emphasized the significance of this discovery, stating, "We searched through every piece of evidence we could find and managed to locate a photo of Sheila. We are a small team of officers and I'd like to recognize the work of DC Sean Reeve, who managed to resolve this case with help from the public." The circumstances surrounding Sheila's disappearance and her life over the past 5 decades remain private. Authorities have respected her wish for confidentiality, and no further details have been disclosed to the public. This resolution brings closure to one of the UK's longest-running missing person cases, highlighting the enduring hope and relentless pursuit of answers by families and law enforcement alike. The astonishing reappearance of Sheila Fox after 52 years underscores the multifaceted challenges and evolving methodologies in addressing long-term missing persons cases. Experts from various fields shed light on the intricacies involved in such investigations and the profound impact on families and communities. Dr. Heather McKiernan, a senior manager of forensics at RTI International and project manager for NAMAS Forensic Services, emphasizes the importance of comprehensive databases in resolving missing persons cases. NAMAS, a national information clearinghouse, facilitates advanced searching and cross-matching of missing and unidentified persons, providing crucial support to investigative agencies through multidisciplinary cold case reviews and forensic services. However, the effectiveness of such systems depends on consistent data entry and interagency collaboration. A study analyzing police practices in the UK highlights the need for standardized procedures and timely follow-ups in missing persons investigations to enhance resolution rates. Advancements in forensic science, particularly DNA analysis and forensic investigative genetic genealogy, FIGG, have revolutionized the identification process in cold cases. These technologies enable investigators to establish connections between unidentified remains and missing persons reports, even decades after the initial disappearance. The integration of such technologies into investigative protocols has led to significant breakthroughs, as evidenced by cases where remains were identified years after discovery, providing closure to families and aiding in the administration of justice. The prolonged absence of a loved one places families in a state of ambiguous loss, where the lack of closure impedes the grieving process. Dr. Pauline Boss, a pioneer in the study of ambiguous loss, notes that this unresolved grief can lead to chronic psychological distress. The eventual discovery of a missing person, whether alive or deceased, allows families to transition from uncertainty to mourning, facilitating emotional healing. In the case of Sheila Fox, her reappearance after 5 decades not only resolved a long-standing mystery, but also provided her family with the opportunity to reconnect and find peace after years of uncertainty. The discovery of a long-term missing person raises complex legal and ethical questions, particularly concerning identity, privacy, and autonomy. Adults have the legal right to disappear voluntarily, and their reemergence necessitates careful handling to respect their choices while addressing the concerns of their families. Law enforcement agencies must balance the public's interest in high-profile cases with the individual's right to privacy, ensuring that any disclosures are made with consent and sensitivity. Non-governmental organizations and community initiatives play a vital role in supporting missing persons investigations. Organizations like Locate International in the UK engage volunteers and experts to revisit cold cases, often uncovering new leads through meticulous research and public engagement. These collaborative efforts enhance the capacity of law enforcement agencies, bringing diverse perspectives and resources to complex investigations. The resolution of long-term missing persons cases like that of Sheila Fox illustrates the convergence of persistent investigative efforts, technological advancements, and community involvement. As methodologies continue to evolve, the integration of forensic science, standardized investigative procedures, and psychological support systems will be crucial in addressing the multifaceted challenges of missing persons cases. If you found Sheila's story as compelling as we did, please like this video and subscribe to The Missing Returned for more real-life mysteries. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Share this story to spread awareness, and comment below with your thoughts or experiences related to missing persons. Your engagement helps us bring more such stories to light. Caitlin Markham was just 22 years old when she vanished without a trace from her townhome in Fairfield, Ohio. No forced entry, no signs of struggle, just a purse left behind, a dog locked in a room, and a fiancé who claimed she was simply missing. For over a decade, the case sat unsolved, until investigators finally said they had their man. But was it the right one? Caitlin Markham was known for her creative spirit, her bright smile, and her plans for the future. She was weeks away from graduating art school and making a big move to Colorado with her fiancé John Carter. But everything changed on the evening of August 13, 2011. John says it started out like any other night. He stayed at his place while Caitlin went home. She was supposed to work the next day, and he didn't think much of it when she didn't call him to wake him up like she usually did. "I just assumed she was at work," Carter told investigators. "But then it was 7 o'clock and she should have been out. That's when I knew something was wrong." He left work and drove straight to her townhouse. He used his key to get inside and immediately sensed something wasn't right. He called out for Caitlin, no response. Her purse was still on the bed. Her room was in disarray. Her dog had been left inside and had gone to the bathroom on the floor, something Caitlin never would have allowed. But her phone? Gone. Caitlin was last seen alive at the Sacred Heart Festival, a local church fundraiser. According to those who were there, she didn't seem like herself. John and Caitlin had gone together that Friday night, but friends say things got tense. Her sister and a few others noticed the couple seemed off. Some say Caitlin asked John to take her home early, something out of the ordinary. After dropping her off, Carter returned to his house and hung out with some friends. But even the next day, nothing from Caitlin. And by Sunday evening, Carter finally called 911. At first, Carter told police that his relationship with Caitlin was strong. Like any couple, they had their ups and downs. But those closest to Caitlin told a different story. Friends say Caitlin had been feeling trapped in her engagement for months. They described a relationship weighed down by Carter's alleged drug use, emotional manipulation, and a pornography habit that made Caitlin uncomfortable. "She told me she didn't feel safe," one friend shared. "And she didn't know how to get out." When confronted, Carter admitted Caitlin had once found his porn stash, and even joked about it with a friend. But investigators weren't laughing. They believed there was much more going on beneath the surface. From day one, Carter gave police an endless list of suspects: a guy from high school, a friend at the festival, a woman named Michelle who cried uncontrollably after Caitlin vanished, even Michelle's boyfriend, who reportedly ranted at a bar that Carter was guilty. Each name was a dead end. Police also took note of Carter's 911 call. In it, he pointed fingers at the festival. "There were a lot of questionable people there," he told Dispatch. Investigators looked into it but found nothing to support that theory. By 2014, frustrated with the lack of progress, Caitlin's father hired a private investigator. A year later, he called for the Butler County Sheriff's Office to take over the case. Surprisingly, Fairfield police agreed. Within a year, Butler County made an announcement. They had a person of interest. But it wasn't who anyone expected. In 2023, Jonathan Palmer, one of Carter's longtime friends, was arrested and charged with felony perjury. Police believed he had lied under oath about something related to Caitlin's disappearance. And then came the break. Two juveniles stepped forward, claiming they had seen two cars outside Carter's mother's home around 2 a.m. the night Caitlin disappeared. One of the cars matched Carter's red Ford Focus. The other, a dark blue sedan, was allegedly driven by someone who looked like Palmer. Computer records show Carter's computer began streaming White Collar at exactly 1:39 a.m. But did he actually watch it, or just hit play to create an alibi? Later, police would find more disturbing items at his mother's house. A black notebook and a red folder titled Climax Poems filled with violent imagery. One chilling line read, "I slit your wrist with the key to your heart. I'll bury the body in the backyard." Even more troubling? In a shed outside, they found landscaping plastic, the same kind wrapped around Caitlin's remains when they were discovered in Cedar Grove, Indiana. Caitlin's skeletal remains were discovered in 2013, 2 years after she vanished, off Big Cedar Road, about halfway between her townhome and Carter's dad's property in Indiana. When questioned, Carter admitted he'd been to his dad's place many times, and even used maps to find the route. Yet in over a decade of conversations with police, he never once mentioned that the road Caitlin was found on was directly along that route. Cell tower records backed it up. Carter had been heading in that direction the night she disappeared. On March 22, 2023, nearly 12 years after Caitlin disappeared, John Carter was arrested and charged with her murder. Police believe the evidence, though largely circumstantial, is overwhelming. The computer activity, the witness statements, the poems, the route, the plastic, the lies. Carter still maintains his innocence. There's no fingerprints, no DNA. Just theories, he says. I had nothing to do with her death or disappearance. But investigators disagree. And finally, so does a grand jury. The case is ongoing. And Caitlin's family continues to fight for justice. Caitlin Markham deserved to live out her dreams, to graduate, to move to Colorado to build a life. Instead, her story became a mystery that haunted her loved ones for more than a decade. Now they wait for one final thing, the truth. If you found this story moving, please consider subscribing for more true crime cases and help keep Caitlin's memory alive. Believing a loved one was gone forever, only to discover decades later that they're alive. This is the incredible true story of Lucy Ann Johnson, a mother who vanished in 1961 and was found alive over half a century later. Welcome back to The Missing Returned. Today, we delve into one of the most astonishing missing person cases in history. Stay with us as we uncover the mystery of Lucy Ann Johnson. Our story begins in the early 1960s in Surrey, British Columbia. Lucy Ann Johnson, born Lucy Ann Carvale on October 14, 1935, in Skagway, Alaska, was living with her husband, Marvin Johnson, and their two children, Linda and Daniel. By all appearances, they were a typical family. But in September 1961, everything changed. Marvin reported Lucy missing on May 14, 1965, 4 years after she was last seen. This delay raised immediate suspicions. Imagine waiting 4 years to report a loved one missing. Naturally, this led authorities to question Marvin's motives and involvement. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, launched an extensive investigation. Neighbors recalled seeing Marvin digging in the yard around the time Lucy disappeared, prompting police to excavate the property. Despite their efforts, no evidence was found, and the case went cold. Years passed. Marvin remarried and passed away in the late 1990s. Lucy's whereabouts remained a mystery. For decades, Lucy's daughter, Linda Evans, lived with unanswered questions. But in 2013, a glimmer of hope emerged. In June 2013, the Surrey RCMP featured Lucy's case in their Missing of the Month series, aiming to generate new leads. Seeing my mom's case highlighted reignited my determination. I had to find her. Linda took matters into her own hands, placing ads in newspapers across northern British Columbia and Yukon, areas where her mother had previously lived. One ad read, "I am looking for my relatives. My grandparents' names are Margaret and Andrew Carvale. My mother's name is Lucy Ann Carvale. She was born October 14, 1935, in Skagway." Then the unexpected happened. A woman named Rhonda from Whitehorse, Yukon, saw the ad and recognized the details. She realized that Lucy was her mother. On July 13, 2013, it was confirmed. Lucy Ann Johnson was alive and well, living in Yukon with a new family. After 52 years of uncertainty, Linda finally had answers. Linda traveled to Yukon to reunite with her mother and meet her half-siblings. The emotional reunion marked the end of a decades-long search. But why did Lucy disappear? Marvin was abusive. I had to leave for my safety. I wanted to take my children, but he wouldn't allow it. This revelation shed light on the circumstances surrounding her disappearance. Lucy's story underscores the complexities of missing person cases and highlights the enduring hope of families left behind. It reminds us that even after decades, there's always hope for answers. Thank you for watching The Missing Returned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more stories of hope and resilience.